God gave us many prophecies and warnings of what will take place in the earth before Jesus Christ's second coming. He told us to watch for these prophecies to begin happening, just like when you see a fig tree budding, you know summer is near. As we look at what's going on in the world right now, it seems as if many of these prophecies are beginning to come to pass. Here are 5 signs that are happening right now that tell us that Jesus Christ is coming back very soon. The first sign is earthquakes increasing. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. According to the United States Geological Survey website, which tracks earthquakes, it tells us according to long-term records since about 1990, we expect about 16 major earthquakes in any given year. That includes 15 earthquakes in the magnitude 7 range and 1 earthquake magnitude 8.0 or greater. In the past 40 to 50 years, our records show that we have exceeded the long-term average number of major earthquakes about a dozen times. Kind of strange, on New Year's Day 2024, a 7.4 earthquake struck Japan.
Many in Japan started the new year with a series of strong earthquakes.
The quake struck just after 4 p.m. local time. Dozens of buildings collapsed, trapping people inside. Thousands spent the night in evacuation centers after the quake triggered tsunami warnings along the country's west coast.
Even today, February 8th, when this video was recorded, a new earthquake record was set off the coast of Florida. Florida earthquake is largest ever recorded off the state's east coast, as rare 4.0 magnitude tremor strikes just 101 miles off the coast of Cape Canaveral. The second sign that we're seeing happen is the increase in mockers and scoffers against the Bible, Christianity, and God. Knowing this first, that scoffers will come in the last days walking according to their own lusts. This mocking and scoffing is increasing all around the world. The music industry is one place it has definitely been going on more. Everyone thinks it's just okay to use Jesus' name as a cuss word. And many of these rappers like Lil Nas X think that it's okay to just openly blaspheme the Lord Jesus Christ. In his recent video that he posted on January 11th, 2024, it's titled J Christ, and you can just see throughout this video he's mocking Christianity, taking the place of Jesus, singing such lyrics like, "I'm back like J Christ, I'm fixing to get the gays hyped." This is something we wouldn't have seen 10 years ago or for sure any time before that, and it's just happening nowadays as if it's normal. Rapper Jay-Z was helping in the making of a movie called The Book of Clarence, where it's somebody alive in the time of Jesus, watching Jesus and jealous of the attention he's getting, who then goes around to pretend to heal and do the miracles that Jesus was doing to get money and popularity. While this mocking and scoffing is terrible and it's increasing and it is blasphemy, there is a worse type of mocking and scoffing going on, and it's the Christian persecution that's at now genocide levels around the world. The God of the Bible and his followers are mocked and persecuted in at least 50 countries around the world where Christianity has been made illegal. The third sign that we need to be watching for is the increase in false prophets. Everywhere on social media and in churches around the world, we're seeing people claiming that they're prophets. While the Bible does tell us the gift of prophecy is a real thing, in 1 Corinthians 14:1, you should seek after love and you should truly want to have the spiritual gifts, especially the gift of prophecy. But we're warned that in the last days there would be an increase of false prophets. And then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. There also is an increase of people calling themselves apostles. It's interesting because when we look at the biblical account of the apostles, 11 of the 12 died terrible deaths and suffered extreme persecution.
The grim fates of the 12 apostles. Peter, in Rome, he was crucified head downward. Andrew, bound to an X-shaped cross in Greece. James the Greater, by the sword, he was beheaded in Jerusalem, the first apostle to be martyred for his belief. John, though he did not die a martyr, he suffered in exile on the island of Patmos and eventually died of natural causes in Ephesus. Philip, in Hierapolis, he was cruelly put to death. Some accounts suggest he was crucified, while others say he was beheaded. Bartholomew, flayed alive and then beheaded in Armenia. Matthew, martyred by the sword in Ethiopia. Thomas. In India, he was run through with a spear. James the Less was thrown from the pinnacle of the temple in Jerusalem and then beaten to death. Jude Thaddeus. In Persia, shot to death with arrows. Simon the Zealot. In Mauritania and Britain, he was crucified in 74 AD. Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed Jesus, he died by his own hand, and his place among the 12 was taken by Matthias, who was stoned and then beheaded.
The people that are claiming to be apostles these days that I'm seeing are acting more like celebrities than what we know about the biblical account of apostles. The book of Revelation even warns us of these false apostles and tells us to be on guard against them. I know your works, your labor, your patience, and that you cannot bear those who are evil, and you have tested those who say they are apostles and are not, and have found them liars. The fourth sign to be on watch for, and one that's been increasing, is wars and rumors of wars.
Russia overnight launched its long-anticipated attack on Ukraine, striking military posts across the country.
On October 7, Palestinian militant group Hamas launched an attack on Israel. By land, by sea, and by air.
It's no surprise that Chinese President Xi Jinping used his New Year address as an opportunity to rally the nation. On the issue of Taiwan, he was a lot more specific. He said Taiwan and China will, quote, surely be reunified, unquote.
And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Oftentimes, atheists or people of other faiths will mock this verse. They say, there's always been wars and rumors of wars going on. Yes, ever since the fall of man in the Garden of Eden, wars and rumors of wars have gone on, but never to the degree that we are seeing right now. Russia and Ukraine are at war. Israel and Hamas are at war. Both of these two conflicts have almost all of the world's superpowers involved or threatening to be involved. We also have China and Taiwan on the verge of war. The United States has said it would get involved if that conflict arises. Even just 2 days ago, the United States was bombing Syria and Iraq, just a few years after we quickly pulled out of Iraq and left millions in weaponry there. Again, ever since the fall of man in the Garden of Eden, there has been wars and rumors of wars, but never to the degree where every superpower in the world is either at war or threatening to be involved in a war. The fifth sign that we are seeing happening and increasing is love waxing cold. And then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. It seems that every year, people's love for one another grows colder and colder. Protests for race inequality in the 1960s brought people together. In 2020, they brought more racial division, as well as disregard for businesses and public safety, as we saw rioting and the destruction of property. The rise of technology and social media has caused a lot of things in the world. It's being used to pit people against each other and to rile up people for their own beliefs. This has absolutely led to an increase in the tribal mindset of us versus them. Technology has also caused many people to be driven to depression by only watching the happy moments of other people's lives and believing that their life is terrible. It seems undeniable that the increase of technology, while it has caused some good, has definitely brought some bad with it. This seems to be one of the main reasons causing people's love for one another to wax cold. 1 Corinthians 13:2 tells us exactly how we need to go about all of this. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have absolute faith so as to move mountains but have not love, I am nothing. If we look at the life of Jesus, who's the perfect example of how to live like, he loved his enemies, he loved all people, even those crucifying him. And here in 1 Corinthians, it tells us the answer to this all, that if we can do anything in this world, even move mountains with our faith and understand all knowledge and mysteries, it's nothing if we don't have love for one another. So as we go about seeing all these signs starting to take place, and it looks like the fig tree's budding for the end times to begin and Jesus to return, the answer for it all is to have the love of Christ for others, even your enemies. I hope and pray you're well. Thanks for watching, and God bless.